Welcome to ATB-TV. I'm Darren Dance here at the Gold Coast this week for the big Magic Millions national sales, and even though I'm sitting here wearing a t-shirt, I can tell you right now it is cold on the coast. 19 degrees with a nice cold breeze blowing, and I'll be going down to have the hottest pasta dish I can get into my mouth tonight, because it is freezing up here. And I know it's a lot colder in Victoria, but I didn't come prepared for the Gold Coast in June. Well, we're going to show you some footage of the sales later on, and then we're going to cross to Big Pete Morganti, who's going to take you through next week's up and coming runners. But tonight I'm going to run you through last week's results, which take us back to Friday night at Cranbourne, where we had Arizona Girl run third with the Irishman John Allen on board. And to be fair, he's been a great rider for us this season, but I thought his ride Friday night left a little bit to be desired, and I was a little bit disappointed. I thought he left his run too late, and it probably cost us a chance to win. So third for Arizona Girl. I thought, yeah, 5 out of 10 for the ride, Johnny. On Saturday, I went to Sandown, and we had Raining Media. I thought ran pretty poorly to finish 14th. He got his wet track. It was a strong enough race, but I thought he was about an 8 to 1 chance and he could run top 4, and I was very disappointed the way he finished off, or lack of it. And that horse is probably at his crossroads for us now, so we just need to have a look and get him vetted out, and I think he'll go to Swan Hill next, but I was disappointed with his run. Guest of Honour went terrible. He finished 9th, was well beaten. We've been waiting for a wet track, and we finally got one, and they decided to roll forward on him, and he was the first horse beaten before the corner and dropped right out. And look, I'm not really sure whether we should be going on with this horse, or whether we should be sending him back to the UK, or we should just cut and run, but it looks like they're probably going to give him one more start on a track that's not so wet, and just give him a final benefit of the doubt before he cut out ties with Guest of Honour, who's been a very, very disappointing animal. Up in Brisbane on Saturday, we had La Passe run in the Glenlogan Stakes, and she looked really good until about the 600 metre mark. She just travelled beautifully, but when Brad Rueller asked her to go at the 600, she found nothing, and pulled up a bit distressed. So she's actually been retired from racing now, so there'll be no more La Passe, and we're actively seeking to move her on to the Broodmare Barn, and that should all be sorted out in the next week or so. We also had Royal Fantasy running at Warwick Nabil, and thank God for that, because she smashed him. I was a little bit concerned in the run when the young girl claiming 3 lost her steering and pulled her out about 19 wide. She went around a couple of Commodores in the straight. She was so wide, but she was too good for him, and she won by a couple of lengths running away. A funny horse, Royal Fantasy, 1,000 metre specialist, needs to get back and run on, and needs cover. If she doesn't get that cover, she goes too hard, and then she's got nothing left. But luckily enough, she got cover for long enough, and when she did peel her out wide, she motored home to win easy. So congratulations to all the owners in Royal Fantasy. I'm sure that for the rest of winter, whilst we've got those really wet tracks, if she's ridden like that, she's very capable of winning a couple of more races, you know, around the country circuit. On Monday we went to Hamilton with Skewer on a heavy 10, and she's a big mare, Skewer, and yeah, she just didn't handle the heavy 10 and ran down the track in 10th place, and we need to get her back onto probably dead to slow going. So that was a little bit disappointing for all of us that had waited so long, but I could tell at 400 out she was just floundering, and the jock said she was just spinning her wheels and just couldn't get no traction. And often that's the case for those really big horses. They just don't handle the wet tracks. On Tuesday, Liz went down to Geelong, where we had 3 starters. Mixed results there. Galileo's Pearl, I think, was second favourite from memory, and ran 4th. Was going really well. Caitlin Mannion led on him, and then Darren Gauci came up at about the 800 and took him on, and there was a bit of a war there, and she burned him into the ground, and he only battled on for 4th. But I think they're going to back him up on Friday, and if Michael Walker goes back on, he'll be very hard to beat. We had Escape the Rain first up for the Darren Weir stable. Nothing really was expected for her first up, which was a good thing because she didn't do much. She ran 9th there, and we'll see her take big improvement from that because Johnny Allen just said she knocked up 200 out and he didn't really belt her around too much. And then we had Choisance run for the Matty Williams team. She finished in 6th. It was a massive run. She came from last and she flew up on the inside, didn't have a lot of room, and was in a blanket finish for 4th. I thought she'd actually run 3rd or 4th, but ended up 6th, beaten 1.5. That was a big improvement from that mare. And we've had a few issues with her tying up all the time, but she had to go out and have a break. And she's not a wet tracker, which is great when you're in the middle of winter. But we might have found the key to her and got her sorted now on the synthetic, riding her quiet, which is the way she needs to be ridden to hit the line hard. Geelong synthetic's probably not the ideal track to be doing that. So we're going to look at racing.com Park now and take it down there for a 1400 and then maybe stretch her out to a 1600, depending on what happens. So that was a big improved run there. So it was only a light week for our runners last week, and Royal Fantasy was certainly the star. Coming forward, lots of runners coming up, and I'm going to cross to the big Morganti tree sitting out in Glen Thompson there, scaring the locals, who's going to take us through this week's runners. So over to you, Big Pete.
Thanks, Darren. I feel sorry for you up there. 19 degrees at the Gold Coast, and you haven't got a jumper. God, it's 5 degrees here, mate. And we still haven't got a jumper on here. Tough old Glen Thompson people. Yes, I'll just cover our 5 runners that I definitely know that are on the go, starting tomorrow at Geelong, and then nothing on the week. Nothing on Saturday, but we have 3 runners at Warrnambool. After that, I'm not 100% sure. Tuesday, I think we've got Tennessee Gold nominated at the synthetic, but I think we might be a little bit keener for her to go to Wangaratta on the Thursday. But we'll cross those bridges next week. Starting tomorrow, Magical Millie on the synthetic. First up, under the care of Paul Banks, while Brent Stanley cools his heels for a little while. This filly's always shown a lot of promise. I think her debut at Caulfield, Glen Boss Road, she's only beaten 3 lengths in a nice filly's or 2-year-old race. She's got subsequent form behind Capitalist. Now, not too many 2-year-olds are going to get to Geelong synthetic with that kind of form. Now, if she's up to the mark, there's no reason why she can't go very close today. Michael Walker takes a ride, and Michael had a good opinion of this filly before she started racing at her first prep. So he's been on her, knows her well. Hopefully he can give her the sweet ride, and she can go close to, being right amongst the money there tomorrow at Geelong. Also, we've got the Mick Kent trained gelding Galileo's Pearl backing up from Tuesday. All probably aware that he ran well Tuesday, just got taken on about 1,000 metre mark by a Darren Gauci ridden horse, and just undone the good work Caitlin was doing, and giving him a nice cruisy run. I know the reports probably come out later that Mick probably thought Caitlin probably just was going a bit too steady, that induced that run from Gauci from the back. So Michael Walker back on today, obviously won on the gelding going back the start before, so knows how to ride the horse, and it was a brilliant tactical ride when he did win. So look, if the horse is backed up, and there's no reason to suggest he hasn't, Mick wouldn't have run him if he wasn't right. Similar type 58 races, these races don't alter in strength very much. No reason why this horse can't be right amongst the finish, so good luck to the guys there tomorrow with Galileo's Pearl. Saturday we have a spell. We have no runners. There's only the Metropolitan meet, and we have no runners there. But on Sunday we've got 3. We have a bit of a clash, actually. Obviously we don't like it when our horses probably clash, but circumstances sometimes, we have to go with 2 or maybe 3 of the race. This occasion we've got 2. We've got Short Espresso from the Williams camp, Matty Williams camp, in the 1200 metre benchmark 64 up against Broadway First from the Darren Weir stable, who's first up. Back to Short Espresso. He's come back this preparation really well. He had a fifth at the Carnival, backed up by a second at Geelong, where if he wasn't held up early in the straight, he probably goes close to winning. He was beaten a length. The horse that won the race just had the momentum up on him down the outside. Damien Thornton takes a ride. He's going to get his wet track. Look, it's a heavy 9 now, a bit of rain forecast Saturday, so you know, he just gets conditions to suit. Third up, Matty, you know, probably won't have him much fitter than he'll have him now, so he goes into the race with a really good chance. Broadway First has been trialling up, had 3 or 4 trials, and the last trial at Avoca on Monday, just gone, was fantastic. He led, did everything under his own steam, and you know, won the trial easily. I know totally different set of circumstances when you get to race day, a lot more pressure on, but he goes into the race in you know, good fettle from his trial form. Obviously a horse with a lot of upside and a lot of ability. He won his maiden at Warrnambool with Dean Yendall riding. Dean's on again. He has good solid city form, albeit not winning, behind some nice horses like Vostok. So potential wise and scope for improvement will definitely be there for this lad. Yeah, there was races potentially at Swan Hill, but Darren Weir's opted for him to kick off at Warrnambool. He's actually based and trained from the Warrnambool stable, and this is his kick-off point, and I think Darren Weir is pretty confident that he'll run well. So yeah, it'd be nice to Quinella that race. If it could possibly work out that way, that'd be fantastic. We also have our staying mare Chloe Anna kicking off in a 1400 metre race. Jack Hill rides. Yeah, look, she's going to probably need the run. I think from a 4 first up efforts, she's managed to only fill the placings once. But look, we just want to see her be comfortable in the run and hit the line. And there's staying races, you know, probably coming up 3rd and 4th up that will have her primed and fit and ready to go. And that'll be her go when she gets out to those distances that will suit her. That's it as far as those runners. Like I said, there's Tennessee Gold next week. Heading towards Swan Hill Carnival, the 3-day carnival. We should have plenty of runners up there. We've, you know, Raining Meteor's a chance to go there. David Hayes has even got an eye on the Ulstrom with our unraced helmet filly, Millinery. There's also a race on the Saturday, but look, they're a little bit further ahead. Yeah, we'll cover those in next week's edition. Yeah, look, not much more to add. We had the competition last week. We were going to have the winner this week, but Rick McIntosh has been, he wasn't about until today, and I haven't been able to get onto him. He actually has the footage of the 3 contestants' calls. I'm going to catch up with Rick on Sunday at Warrnambool. We have our runners down there and also the jumps races. So Rick is definitely down there. I will get a little interview with Rick and he'll give his reasons why and who the winner of that competition, the race callers, ATB Classic Race Callers competition. So those guys, you're just going to have to hold fort for another week, and we'll definitely have the winner next week. That's about it now. Now, Darren mentioned earlier there was a bit of footage of the sales there up on the Gold Coast, and we'll just roll to that now. Like I said, I haven't got much more for the rest of the weekend. Have a good weekend. If you're on the punt, I hope you're back a winner. I'm not tipping you or anything. I'm banned from that, as you all know. Yeah, so have a look at this footage. A lot of money in breeding. And as you'll find out here, a little filly called Fontaton that went around, she made a lot of dough for her owners. Okay guys, have a good weekend, and we'll speak to you next week.
Do me a favour.
You're all right, mate. Good luck, eh? Yeah, thanks. It's all new to me.
You go and buy another one.
So at this stage, I'd say no.
Go away, mate.
For a 22-year-old, you do have what she wants. 400,000. I'll take 25. 425 now. 450 now. 450 now. 60, 70, 80 here. 480, 500, 500 here. 20, 520, 500.
I'm trying.
25, 625, 50, 75, 700, 50, 800, 800,000, 800,000. 800,000 going to sell. 800,000, 800,000. Yes! 50, 850, 850, 900, 900, 1 million, 1 million, 1 million. $1 million, $1 million, I'll take 100,000 again now. She's for sale all the way. 1 million. 1 million bits left. I don't want to shut anybody out. There have been plenty if you want. 1 million. At $1 million and I'm going to sell it. At $1 million, 100,000. 1 million one. 1 million one. 1 million 100,000. At $1 million 100,000. At $1 million 100 gross, you going to stand to that or you going to put me back? 1 million one. You going to stay to that? 1 million one. 1 million one. 1 million one. Bear in mind. 1 million one in front. At 1 million 100,000 I'm going to sell. At 1 million 100,000 you shake your head on a nice mare. Goes on and I sell out. I sell her out for 1.1. Ross, 1.1. Good luck to you. Henry Field, thank you.